Good day, everybody. My name's JJ, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, this is not the same game that I played last time. It's a funny way to put it. But I mean, I started a new game because the developers of this game are constantly updating it, adding new features, adding new stuff. And every time they do that, I feel the urge to start a new game, even though I don't get very far in the last game. But anyway, so that's one reason that it's a new instance of the game, I guess. The other reason is this over here. This little office or whatever it is. See, I saw one of these before in an earlier game that I played a couple months ago, just at the periphery of the view of the game. So when you go out here, you know, you start off, you can't see very much. And I looked around one time and I saw just the edge of one of these hidden remnants of maybe old replicas or whatever, duplicates. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. But this time, when I started a new game and it's randomly generated, I found this. And at the time, it was only this edge that I could see, and there was a door here. And lo and behold, it was close to where my guys were starting, so I thought, awesome, let's go with this. Let's find out what it is. Let's explore it and see what it does. And so yeah, so it's sort of an extension of my base, which is very basic right now. I haven't really built very much of anything except, of course, the toilet, which is essentially I have to build that right away. And we're still exploring. Everything's frozen in time right now. So yeah, I wanted to find out what all this stuff does, what use it has. I mean, these are lockers, so I assume they're usable to store stuff, as a locker would be. There's a security door. It's automatic, so you just walk in. I thought that you'd have to find a way to open it, but it just opens as soon as you approach it. This thing is interesting. A neural vacillator. I'm assuming that it can be used to maybe lower the stress level of the duplicates, because that's one problem in the game, is as you go along, if things go to hell, which they always do, at least when I play the game, at least initially. Later on they can smooth out as you get more and more advanced, get better machines, get the balance proper. It's basically a resource management game after all anyway. But the stress levels come and go. And so I'm guessing that this thing right here can reduce the stress level of anybody setting it. I'm thinking, I don't know if that's true, but you can assign it to a certain duplicate. You know? So right here, unassigned. All it says is a massive synthetic brain suspended in saline solution. There's a chair attached to the device with room for one person. And it adds +2 to the decor, which helps to relieve stress. Germs none. Properties. It doesn't really tell you what it does, but I'm just guessing because it's called a neural vacillator that it might help reduce stress. I don't know. Also, there's a couple of computer desks. But anyway, so it's very it's very interesting. I don't know really what it does. We've got an attachment here, one to run electricity when I've got some electricity, which I still don't at the moment, etc., etc. So I found this. I think it's cool. There's water here. If I need it later, I've got water, lots of it right now. And Bubbles is leading the way. There's my dear Bubbles. She's always been the best leader, probably because she's named Bubbles. I mean, you got to be a good leader and have a lot of good qualities if you're going to name yourself Bubbles or someone calls you Bubbles. Am I right? I'm right. So anyway, right now I've just started. I've got 3 duplicates. We're just carving out our base and go from there. So I'm not going to go through every little bit of minutia as I build this up, but I'm going to start here, and we'll cut to different highlights as we go, and see how far I can go with this base and see what I can do with this thing over here. You ready? Here we go. Go Bubbles. I love the fact that they have now emojis when they talk to each other too, which is great. And lo and behold, my 4th duplicate is ready to be chosen, and we're gonna do that. If I can find somebody. You look too much like Bubbles, Lyra. Sorry. Let's see. You gotta check their traits, because. Okay, so this one can't build. I wouldn't pick this lady anyway, because she can fall asleep at any time. She's got -3 strength, and she's an early bird, which is a good thing. But Iron Gut's good because they can eat anything. But they eat a lot. Harold. And Lindsay, she gets up early. That's a good thing. Gets a bonus of +2 to all skills in the morning. And she doesn't get any kind of a negative in the evening. She just loses the +2 bonus. She can operate. She can cook. She can research. She can't build, but they don't all have to build. So, yeah, we're going to pick Lindsay. All right, Lindsay, come on in, my dear. Print you because that's weird. And on we go to explore this brave new world. See, one of my first priorities when I start building after I get the toilets and everything done is I build cots for them because it keeps the stress level down. I don't know if it actually helps to in their everyday life, but it does keep the stress level down and it makes them happy. And I just want to make them happy. I'm all about making people happy. It's what I do. I look for that in life, just making others happy. I'm a giver. I give. You know. I rarely take because, quite frankly, no one ever offers me anything. So it turns out I'm a giver and a builder right now. So that's cool. So, and we've got plants to harvest. These little guys here, these little shine bugs. Oh, he's happy. I think they also help the stress level. I mean, your duplicants are happiest when they're in the light. When they're in places that are a little dark or really plain, they start to build up stress because the aesthetic doesn't suit them, doesn't make them happy. And again, I'm a giver. I want to make them happy, so happiness starts with giving them a nice place to live. So I'm going to make this, because there's good oxygen here, as you can see with the overlay. There's good oxygen here. I'm going to have to start generating oxygen soon. But anyway, there's good oxygen here, so I'm going to put their cots up here. Alright. Downtime. There is now downtime. This downtime is new. That's something that's new. Normally they work, but now the game gives them downtime. That's a default schedule for downtime, but I'll go with it. They're sort of just getting together, chit-chatting, having coffee, talking crap about their boss. That's me. Yeah. And apparently somebody has to go to the bathroom. Oh, and now it's nighttime. See, now they'll just collapse wherever they are unless they have cots. So, I'm just going to set this up to build them cots when they can. And I like to have 6 because I find for myself 6, at least early on, is the most, is the ideal amount of duplicants for me. Other people, I'm sure, have a different feeling about that, but for me, I like 6. Let's speed this up. So I'm going to spend all day sleeping here, all night sleeping, etc. So rise and shine, sleepyheads. Come on. Everybody up. Work to do. Gotta live. Gotta survive. Gotta move your asses. Come on, let's go. Oh my god. There we go. That's a new day. It's a new day. Happy, happy. So what are we all doing? How's the toilet doing? You gotta clean that out frequently. Actually, I should build another one too because when you have one down to be cleaned out, another one should be available or someone will have an accident. Guaranteed. I know that's true because I've seen it happen and it's disgusting. And also, it again increases their stress level when they don't have access to a toilet. Which increases my stress level when I don't have access to a toilet. Little known fact about me, which is absolutely irrelevant, doesn't mean anything, is I can't use the toilet outside of my home. Ta-da! I mean, I can, but I can't do the serious business outside. I just can't. Which is one reason I don't travel. Another reason is I don't want to fly anywhere. If I travel, it's got to be in a car, or on a train, or on a bus. Although I avoid buses if possible, because bus toilets. Trains, I can if it's a long distance or if I have to stay in a hotel, yeah, I can use the facilities there because it's private. If I'm traveling long distances, then I have to use the facilities. But if I'm just out for the day in a shopping center or something, I'll hold it till I get home. There's some information you didn't need and it will never retain. Please don't retain it. It's not important to anyone except myself. Also, there are certain members of my family whose names I shall not mention who are also in the same boat. I have a feeling it has to do with our upbringing. Which is fine. Alright, so that's ready. This one has to be... I should clean this up now. No, not you. There we go. Clean toilet. Somebody gets that job, and I always laugh because the expressions they have when they're cleaning out the toilet. Well, also, I built a wash basin here, which you can build early on. All they do is add water to it. And then they remove the infected water later on, and then you can dispose of it later on. See, look at this expression. This is not a happy camper. Sorry, buddy, you do the job, you got to do the cleaning too. You take turns. Yeah, so anyway, the wash basin helps keep down germs, which are also important, because you don't want your duplicants. I keep calling them replicants for some reason. Getting sick. So, if you can avoid that. And you can assign the cots, but they'll just grab the first cot available when they're ready to sleep. Hopefully they'll get them built before it's time to go to bed. And the next duplicate will be around in 2.1 cycles, which is, I think a cycle is a day. So in a couple of days we got a new duplicate. Again, I only want 6 total to start off. Also, I got to start building. Stop for a second. If you don't stop, they'll just continue on, and I'll lose my train of thought. You have to build a research station fairly quickly if you want to build the machinery to keep the place going. You can't just leave them at this level; they will learn nothing and do nothing, and the place won't improve. So you got to do that. So I got to figure out where to put that. That's important. Because I normally stick an oxygen generator right next to it right away because it's a good thing. I don't know where to put that. Where should I put it? I can't put it up in the office. I'm just going to call this the office for now. I don't know what else to call it. I could put it here, but it's not big enough. It's got to be big enough to hold batteries, a generator, which is basically run by physical power to begin with until you can build a coal generator. Anyway. And then the research station, and then an advanced research station later, and that's not big enough. Oh, why not just, what am I thinking? Just build through here. Okay. Hey kids, you got to start digging through. I want you to dig through here. We're going to use this section here. Get too close to the water. There. That should be big enough. Then I can extend it over here if I need to. Yeah. Okay. And storage is very, very important too. I don't know if they'll actually use this as basically a metal locker contains a whatever. Can I store stuff in here? It doesn't say that though, does it? Contains an assortment of personal effects. Like what? Ooh. 3-ring binder inside. I scan the surviving documents. New database entry. Oh! I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Can I rummage? Okay, someone rummage in it when you get a chance. Who knows what we'll find. And rummage in that one too. Oop, hang on, I'll inspect that first. Discovered journal, mostly intact. I scanned the pages of use. New database entry discovered. Great! I wonder what it is. Database. I don't even know where the database is. Oh, it's right there. Hang on. Everybody stop for a second. Anything new? Where's the new stuff? I don't even, how do you know it's new? Search database. Journals. Journals? Notices, tips, research, disease, buildings. I could read this all day long and I wouldn't find what just came in. Notices. Evacuation notice. What? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Alright, continue on. Somebody's gonna rummage through here and find something. What did we find? What did we find? Oh, a snazzy suit. Fantastic. Wow. Let's give that to Bubbles. And this one I don't play favorites. Lindsay, you can have that snazzy suit. How about that? Cool. That's cool. Whatever. I don't even know what that does. I'm just it says I can do it, so I'm doing it. Why not? Dig the sand out. And I'm going to have to put a floor in here, of course. Wait. Floor. Well, you know, I think one of the basic tenets of this game is to keep these guys busy. Because frankly, I think they get a little crabby when they don't feel like they're working hard. That sounds weird, right? But it's true. Oh, look, we're at downtime. And everyone decides to spend some time in the toilet. I think we should disinfect this stuff right here. Some disinfecting going on. Yeah. So that's good for 14 visits. This is good for 14. Well, we're good. And when I get a chance, I gotta make a. Okay, you all have cots. And you also have a. We'll kill him later. You can eat that stuff later on, but I think it goes bad. The meat from these bugs, turtles, whatever. I don't even know what to call them. Okay, everybody, hit the hay. It'll reduce your stress level. Right now, stress is at 0, which is awesome. It was at 4, and now it's dropped down again. Yay me! Okay, come on, hurry up and build this so I can start. Also, I have to make a food processor. It doesn't make great food, but the food it makes will keep them going, and that's important. So, you know. There we go. And I just find having more than 6 duplicates when we're done here is unwieldy. I find it hard to keep track of them and whatever. Insufficient oxygen generation, of course. That's why I have to build this thing. No downtime, please. Get your asses in gear. Thanks. Love you. Move this along. Alright. You're supposed to disinfect this. Oh, what's the oxygen look like? Oh, it's getting bad around the toilets. What a surprise. And again, you have to research to clean, get the aerators to clean the oxygen, or to clean the air and remove the bad stuff. Me talking bad right now. Me not big make good words. Anyway. It's been a crazy time. No, it's funny because, you know, full-time I'm a writer, but I'm a starving artist, which means that I have to work part-time outside of my home to make enough money to pay my rent. But I'm also a full-time gamer because I've loved gaming since there was such a thing as gaming. And so I have to fit that in too, and then I'm doing these videos when I can because my schedule is insane. And right now I'm trying to finish off my latest novel, which is like 2 months overdue because of my crazy schedule and because I'm trying to make a living and pay the rent. So, you know, Cry Me a River, I know we've all got problems. I understand totally, and this isn't anyone's problem but my own. But I love my life, and I love what I do, and I love playing games, and I love Bubbles in the gang too. They're fun. Alright, so let's sweep this up if we can. Store it away. I have to build another storage unit too somewhere. Here. And yeah. So that's a little story about what I deal with on a daily basis. So I mean, my end goal is to put out 3 to 4 videos a week, if possible. And I'd love to put one out every day, but frankly, I'm not here some days, and I don't have the time. I have to sleep sometime. I have to write more than I sleep. And I find that I write first thing in the morning better than I do in the evening. I will if I have to, if I'm running behind, which I am. But the mental juices just flow better in the morning, for me. So, okay, guys, you really have to move this along. Let's prioritize this. I can do this. I know what I'm doing. Sometimes sweep, priority, 7. Okay. There we go. Off you go. Yeah. So all except for organic, because I don't want the stuff rotting in the storage bins. Alright. Busy Bees, how much longer till the next one? 1.2 cycles. Okay. Every time that they do an update of this game, it just gets better. They've added rockets to the game. Now, you might be wondering, as I did, how rockets are going to work when they're inside basically an asteroid. That's supposedly what they're inside of, exploring the cosmos. I'm not sure why. Whether the human race is on decline, probably. Or we're running out of resources, also probable. Or we're just exploring the vastness of outer space. I don't even care. But anyway, they've added rockets, and what rockets can do, I have no idea. I know that I checked it out a bit. I don't read about this stuff online. I could just Google all of this and find out. Just like I could Google this office here and find out all this stuff, like what the neural vacillator does. I don't want to do that. I want to learn on my own. And if I screw up and they all die, which has happened before, then I screw up and they all die. That's life. You know. I actually wasn't gonna do a running commentary as we go here, but I'm going to. I'm gonna make this a series, just this group, these guys, and go as long as they live, until they don't. Or I get to the point where it's just too tedious for everybody, including myself. But the next video I do on this, which will hopefully be in a few days, we'll jump ahead to where I've built all the necessities that I need to continue on, because I don't want to get too tedious or into the minutia. I love watching people do that, but a lot of people don't like watching people do that, and I totally understand that. So, you know, if you're not into the you know, like step by step stuff, which there are videos out there where you can learn everything there is about this. I don't watch them because, again, I like to learn by myself. So, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's I become very attached to the duplicants. I really do. I mean, I'm glad they're all named and they all have different traits and stuff because they're all individuals. Okay, guys, would you want to hurry up, please? I want to start building the stuff. Even if you're not done by the next cycle there, I'm going to start building them. That you can pick up. You can sweep the stuff up later because you really need to. We really need to get moving here. So the power, you got to start with this manual generator, and a couple of batteries to store the energy that is created, and then you move on. You got to build a research station, then you got to build a supercomputer, and the jobs board. It sounds dumb, but it's really important because they add that to the game, and then you can assign different jobs to different people. And it seems to, now I don't know if it's actually in the code, but maybe it's just I'm fooling myself. It seems to give them more motivation to work harder and to get better at their jobs. Uh-oh, downtime. But anyway, you know what I mean? So, yeah. How the toilet's doing? 13 visits, 12 visits. Oh, we're good. Chit chat, bitching about the boss. No problem. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. You better be careful I don't give you a permanent job there as sanitary engineer. Why you all? Oh, you're all waiting for the time to change so you go to bed. You slackers! Stop talking. Go to bed. You gotta rest. And while you're resting, I'm going to assign you new jobs. Sleep well, Turner. Okay, stop for a second. Now, you haven't picked all this stuff up. We'll get around to it, but I'm going to have to do the layout for the next day. So the manual generator goes here. 2 batteries side by each. Wire. And you can run wire through the floor, which is great. Keeps it from... I mean, aesthetically, it's not as pleasing if it's on top, you know. Also, station. We'll do the station. Oop. Station here. Got a little room there. Run a wire. From the ground to the station. And what else? Okay, hang on. So yeah, we're going to do an oxygen. An algae deoxidizer. There's a big word. Yeah, that's important. Just to begin with, and you move on from there. And more wire. Here to there. See, the thing I find that when like I have reached the point where I can make a coal generator before, and then of course you have to worry about the fumes from the coal and how to keep that away from these guys, and oh my god. It gets very, very detailed and very intense, and that's when basically I lose my mind because I love this type of game, but organization and I, as you may have just heard from the way I described my life, we sort of butt heads, you know. It's, we just do. So anyway, so while they build their the new areas here and the new setup, we're gonna leave the game here, and hang on, boys and girls. So thanks very much for watching. The next time I pick this up will be more further ahead. Maybe I'll learn what the office does. Maybe I won't. Who knows? And I'll have built a jobs board by then and assign them jobs for to go along with their own unique talents. And we'll see where we go from there. So thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying my content. I'll see you in the next video, and take care.